you for coming today. Thank you for joining us at this wonderful evening, wonderful occasion. 85th anniversary of the birth of Chingiz Aitmatov. Who is Chingiz Aitmatov to us? Well, first of all, of course, he is one of the most prominent modern writers, one of the most translated writers of our time. But he was always not just a writer, but I'd say he was an icebreaker. He was constantly writing on the most burning issues of his time. His legacy is invaluable. But of course, we, as representatives of the embassy, as representatives of the diplomatic service, we remember Chingiz Aitmatov not only as a writer. We, of course, value his memory as a diplomat, and he was a very bright diplomat, a right person in the right time, in the right position. The times of perestroika demanded new people with new mentality, and Chingiz Aitmatov did his job very well. He was the ambassador of the Soviet Union since 1990 till 1992 in Luxembourg, and then he was the ambassador of the Russian Federation. And starting from 1994, he continued his diplomatic career, being the ambassador of Kyrgyzstan to Belgium, the Netherlands, and Luxembourg. So for us, he is not only a cultural figure, but of course his name means much to us as diplomats. I won't be long. I just want to thank Rossotrudnichestvo and Anton Chesnikov for hosting all of us here tonight.
Dear friends, it took me such a long journey to come here and to be here tonight, because Bolatarao, he came over, he went to Istanbul to get a visa. From there he went to Zurich, and then his flights were cancelled, 2 flights. So he had to spend a whole night somewhere in the airport, and yeah, eventually he managed to get the flight today in the morning.
So much. On occasions like this, people always say the honor was unexpected, and in my case it's absolutely true. I had no idea that I was going to be honored in this way, but it's particularly pleasant for me because I too, like the first clip that we saw, Professor Reardon knew Chingiz Aitmatov for many, many years, stayed with him at his home, met him in many different countries. And I think one of the things that really strikes me watching the presentation this evening is he's compared to Homer, Shakespeare, Dostoevsky, and so on. And yes, he was an extraordinary writer and an extraordinary human being. But he was also a very human, down-to-earth person. And I think we should not forget that really earthy, immediate side of him. He would laugh, he was very generous, he liked being with friends. And I think one of the really special things about this evening is that we see so many friends, people from so many different countries have come here to honor him, precisely because he had this way of reaching out to people in a very direct way, and not in any pompous sort of way, standing on a pedestal. I rather like the statue of him that I saw recently in Bishkek, where he's shown as a young man, 30 years old, I imagine, and jacket over his shoulders, striding along. And I think that really sums him up, this sense of not being an officious official, but just a person who loved life, who loved his work, and who loved people. So thank you all very much, and all our thoughts, I'm sure, are with Chingiz Aitmatov this evening. Thank you from Kyrgyzstan for having given us the gift of this writer.
Thank you very much. I mean, this certainly rivals the Oscars, so a stunning award. I won't make an Oscars sort of esque speech, but for those of you who don't know me, I'm the editor-in-chief of Open Central Asia magazine, and we're a whole team of people. So this is actually a lot of us. It's published by Mr. Marat Aitmatov, and 4 years ago we set out on a mission here in the UK. I came back very inspired from Central Asian visits and travels. And we set out on a mission to try and publicise and promote Central Asia in all manner of facets, both culturally and also from a business perspective and tourism perspective. And it's a great pursuit of ours to try and find the next sort of generation of writers from Central Asia and try and promote them here in the UK. And we've just held recently our second Open Central Asia Book Forum and Literature Festival. And how wonderful it is to have people like Chingiz Aitmatov, who really are more than just role models culturally, but also the great statesman. And I wish I had met him, hearing from so many of you who had the pleasure and fortune of meeting him. But what a stunning award, and I hope that we can continue to help promote both Chingiz Aitmatov and Central Asian culture going forwards. Thank you.
Good evening. So, we're the American University of Central Asia. We give both a Kyrgyz diploma and an American diploma. And so in a way, we're a nice symbol of what Chingiz Aitmatov's literature is about. It is something that is between cultures and across cultures. We generate 95% of our students come from Kyrgyzstan and from the other Central Asian countries. So we are combining the best traditions of Soviet humanist education and American liberal arts traditions. And sometimes I feel like we are the первый учитель, который старается что-то новое делать, чего нет нигде. And sometimes I think we're doing old things that everybody already knows. But we try to combine these things, just as I think Chingiz Aitmatov tried to combine Kyrgyz traditions, Russian traditions, Soviet traditions, and world literary traditions, and make one great literature. We try to make one great education for, as was said earlier, a new generation of children, young adults from Kyrgyzstan, from Kazakhstan, Uzbekistan, Tajikistan, Turkmenistan, Afghanistan. So thank you very much, Rahima, for awarding this on our 20th anniversary. And I'm sure my colleagues in Bishkek will be thrilled and feel new inspiration to go on and keep educating people in the same spirit that Chingiz Aitmatov lived and worked. Thank you very much.
It's a great honor to get this award on Mukhtar Reza Foundation behalf, and this award is a symbol of friendship of cultures, and that was what Chingiz Torakulovich represented in his own lifetime. And special thank you to Rahima Musayevna, who is doing all this great work to promote and not forget the heritage of Chingiz Aitmatov.
Tonight I am delighted and honored to receive this award on behalf of my grandfather, Aitmat Kalimbetov. In the arc of his life, we can see a man who earned his place in history through struggle, persistence, and faith. On his personal tragic experience, He showed us what is possible not just in the pages of his book, but in our lives as well. My grandfather was always working very hard. He was writing incredible stories and books which were translated into numerous languages across the world. Through his books we can see various themes such as heroism and pride and downfall, human relationship and the struggle of individual versus society. And as a reader, I must acknowledge that he was an incredible teller of our cultural and historical background. He elegantly shaped and detailed his own story in his writings, and we are able to see that everlasting love is an universal idea that stretches through his books. He dedicated his books to his beloved partner and the only friend, my grandmother, Kuanish. He describes how my grandmother had devoted her whole life to look after her paralyzed husband, being a wife, typist, and nurse at the same time. My grandfather is my personal hero, and I want to thank this organization, Chingiz Aitmatov's Academy, on behalf of Kilimbatov family for this award, and to wish best of luck and further success in your creative endeavors. Thank you so much.
Thank you very much to Rahima. Rahima is a fantastic supporter of the SCRSS. Next year we'll be celebrating our 90th anniversary, and we were very fortunate to receive an award from Rahima last year. So if it carries on like this, we're going to have to build another cabinet to accommodate more. As I say, the work that she's done for the literature for Chingiz Aitmatov and the other writers from that region is an amazing contribution, and we've been delighted to be involved and to help her support her work and to receive the support that she's given us, and I hope that we will continue to work together and to promote this really very important world literature. So, Rahima, thank you again, as ever.